Hi guys, welcome to my new initiative that is Women in Different Industries. Here I will be interacting with incredible women in different sectors and will know their journey. Today in my first podcast, Miss Linda is joining me, who is in sales and works for a company known as Remote. Architect, mother of two beautiful daughters, but sales runs in her blood as a whole family is into sales. So, Linda, welcome to my first podcast and thank you so much for taking out time for this podcast.
Thank you for inviting me, Prabhat. I'm honored to be here with you and talking about women in tech. And I want to congratulate you for this initiative that you're running right now.
Thank you so much for your kind word. It means a lot. So, before I say, I would like to start with the basic question that how was your childhood? Like, how were you as a child, like introvert or extrovert? Because do you, and continuing the question, do you think that the personality traits uh, suggest the field which you want to make your career?
Mm, Personally, I don't think that personality traits can define your future,
Hmm.
but definitely they are a game changer. It also depends on not only in your personal traits but in your environment. So in my case, I was an extrovert. I've been always an extrovert, and yes, that helped me pursue things in a different way because I wasn't afraid to search for something that I was looking for. So I think it depends on the person because I've seen introverts that they're real fighters. So it's not only about the personal traits, it's about that personal characteristics. If it's like if one is an introvert but they are focused on meeting targets, then they're going to succeed. But even if you're an extrovert and you are not disciplined, then you're not. But responding to your question, how was I? I was an extrovert.
Okay, so like discipline is the key, irrespective of the career choices you make, right?
Sorry?
I believe discipline is the key, irrespective of the career, right?
Yes. Discipline, I think it helps for everything. I won't say that I'm the most disciplined person in the world because I won't lie, okay?
Mm.
Sometimes I'm on a diet and let's not call it a diet, but I'm trying to eat less about something. Then a couple of days later, I might try some and then go back. I think discipline it is helpful in every aspect, but um, you can always achieve when you're constant, not only discipline. But yes, discipline is a good description about doing things. If you have a goal, you should be going one step at a time constantly.
Okay. Okay.
Even if you miss one day, you
Mm.
can you can go back next day.
I also try various diets, sometimes GM diet, sometimes keto diet, but it is very difficult to stick to one diet. But I believe one should keep trying.
Yeah, no, it's very difficult. If you don't turn it a habit, then it's difficult. But in general aspects for life, I talk about dieting because it's a very general aspect where you need to be very disciplined. Like I've lost weight and I've gained weight and then I've lost it again. And at the end, it's about consistency. And that aspect in your life, it can be translated into business as well. Like, for example, I'm in sales.
Mm.
So you need to be constant. You need to be persistent. You need to be disciplined to achieve all of the goals. So it's something that guides you in a general aspect. So I'm giving this example just to be very clear about it.
Okay. So you mentioned like what do you like about sales? So, if I personally tell about my experience, is like a sales is something which gives me liberty to be accountable of my work. I don't need to prove my work. My number speaks for myself. What about you? What do you like in sales industry?
In the sales industry, I think it's fun. First of all, I think it's fun, okay? Like sometimes, it's not about selling. Actually, if you feel that you're helping somebody with the product that you have, then it's not about selling. Selling is the result. The monetary exchange is the result. But obviously, sales are measured by numbers.
True.
So you need to achieve the numbers. So if you see money into numbers and not into money, and the product into something that is helping the other person, then it's just an exchange of things. And I'm in business development. Like I have fun looking up for people and searching people and reading about them and reaching out to them in a personalized way. Like, hey, I know something about you. I'm reaching out for you because I think you might need this. And sometimes they say, no, you're not reading me well. And I say, okay, it's okay. Like if someone doesn't need something, then I won't try to sell. If they're looking for what I have, then I can share about it. But it's not about convincing. Obviously, have some type of aspect on that, but it's not about that. I just enjoy the general environment of it in the places that I've been, because if you it also depends on your managers and in the directors and leadership. Definitely it's about leadership. If they are if they're not thoughtful about you, then yeah, you get might hurt in sales.
Okay, that's true. That's true. Do you also think like over the decades, sales has evolved in a very personalized manner? It's not now the sales industry is not about beg, borrow, or steal. Now it's about understanding the need of your customer like band when you know the budget, when you know the authority, and then you actually demonstrate your product whether your product can fit in the fit in the requirement or not. Do you think that is this a good move?
Yes, definitely. Because if not, it would be marketing. Like to just share about a product, then that doesn't marketing does that, okay? So selling is different. It's like if somebody shows that they're interested in something, and, and you can take a discussion and say, hey, this is the product that I have. You have this need, and I can fulfill your need with this. Then you can make the sale, you know? And if it's on budget and if it's needed and if it solves a problem, then the sale is done by itself.
True, true. Like I have around 8 years of experience in sales. So if when I started my career in sales, the definition of a good salesman was like a guy who can sell comb to a bald man.
Yeah, no, I come from a family that we're all salespeople,
Oh,
okay? Because it runs, I don't know if it's something about culture, if it runs in the veins, but you know, there's a bias between Middle Eastern and sales,
and
okay?
that's why your writing is quite well. I usually follow your content over the LinkedIn. So
Oh,
you
thank you
inspire a
very
lot
much.
of people, and you share one or two screenshots as well where people like thanked you like for motivating them and all, right?
No, yeah, it's true. I don't do it because I do it because I think with little time you can dedicate to others in different aspects, you can be a game changer in their lives. Like you don't know
Mm.
how your words can change somebody's mood in one moment, for good or for bad. Okay.
True.
And to the people that follows me on LinkedIn, I just have fun. Okay, if I have a thought, I don't plan my post. Like I just share what I feel at that moment. And obviously it's around the environment. Like if you're sharing about people looking for a job or a remote position, um right now I'm in the remote environment, so I'm sharing about that.
True.
But if in the future I'm in another environment, maybe I'm going to be sharing about that and helping around that aspect.
True. So my next question, like today, women are leading every industry from tech to entertainment, right? So what's your viewpoint on that? Where do you see women in next 5 years?
The woman history is changing definitely since the we started raising hands like, hey, we need a change. Okay, so in 5 years, yes, definitely the woman leadership is growing. That's undeniable. I see it in companies, I see it in general. You can see it in the music, like it's changing. I don't know if this is a thing around the other side of the world, but I come from Latin America, okay, and I live now in Europe. So, and my family is Middle Eastern. So I have a little about many cultures, but right now here, we're women. They're showing that we can achieve many things. Like I'm going to say that Shakira is writing about her and opening about her feelings about that he was cheated on. And before that wasn't a thing. Like we need to be quiet, uh, and that is translated into business as well. You see women that they're raising their hands that, hey, we're showing up, like we can be good leaders. You know, the thing about being a woman is that we need also good partners to have equal responsibilities around parenting. If you're a parent, then it's not the same as if you were single, because when you're a parent, you have other responsibilities. And before, only women took care of kids, and now we're having combined parenthood, and that's the goal, you know. And now that women that they have more possibility to go out of the house, not only not only being a caregiver. Like in my case, I am a caregiver for I have two daughters.
Okay.
So I decided to go remote to be a caregiver. Why? Because this gives me the opportunity to work on my hours. Obviously, I work from one time to another time, like from 9 to 5, or I still have a schedule because I'm in sales. I won't find anyone at 8 p.m., you know? And I don't want to call anyone at 8 p.m. like if they're with their families. So we're going to, in 5 years, I think this is only getting better. And not only for women, diversity in general. Diversity is a movement in general. Like you can tell companies when they have a diverse team that they make more money. Why? Because they have different point of views. What you're looking at is not the same perspective as I have, and it's not the same perspective as a person in the United States, for example.
True, true. I totally agree with you. Like we share the same point of view of next 5 years. So, do you think things like glass ceiling still exist, like in this 21st century? I personally believe yes, it still exists. Women need to put 2x efforts as compared to men. What's your viewpoint?
Yes. Yes, it depends in the country. It depends on the company.
Mhm.
And yeah, it depends on both things, in the country and in the company's culture.
Okay.
It does exist, okay? And it also that ceiling is not only for women, it's about different countries.
Okay.
You change from one country to another,
Mhm.
and then you have a ceiling, okay? I'm sure that they're not offering the same salaries for the same position for the same job in different countries.
Now, do you think the change in position change the perception of the people, the way they treat you, especially in when the woman becomes the a CEO or like VP, SVP, the perception of the people changes very drastically.
Yes. No, yes, and not only in the corporate world, in general.
Yeah,
Like it's not the same. Yeah, yeah, people, yeah, definitely. They treat you differently depending on everything, and this is general. And this is general. Like they will treat you differently. An unbiased person, I haven't met an unbiased person, and I think that doesn't exist. We all have bias. We
yeah,
all have bias around things. And people, they're naturally interested. Like if they think that they can get something out of you, it's a natural aspect that they're going to treat you differently. I don't say that it how that they would treat you differently. It's not good. I won't say that that's good. I won't say I think that it's something that we should all work on. You should treat people equally, independently of their position, because you don't know where you're going to see that person that is in the bottom of the stairs at one point. You don't know how that person is going to be in 10 years. You can see a definite and it's not about interest, it's about treating people in a good way. But yes, if you're a CEO, they're going to treat you differently.
true. So you have a lot of experience in corporate. So can you please brief our audience like how it started and what made you come into sales and how you came into sales? How was your first job and what are the challenges you faced?
It's a funny story because I wasn't I didn't plan to be here.
Okay.
It was unplanned, okay? Actually, I'm an architect.
Oh,
What I did in general is that I design hospitals and houses and retail and I don't know, an artistic career. But I've always been into business in general, because even if you're a doctor, you need to know about business. Even any career, any profession, you need to know about business and about sales.
true.
If not, then you're not going to go anywhere. Even if you're a nuclear scientist, if you don't know how to sell your product or what your knowledge, then it's very difficult to thrive. Same for writers, same for anyone. So I moved from Honduras to Spain, and then I decided, hey, if I cannot sign my projects here, because I would need to study a lot more years here, because architecture, as in many careers, you need to be certified in the country that you're working on. Okay, why? Because it's not the same construction methods in my country than in the United States than in any other country. So you need to set that environment. And at the beginning, I was doing that, and I was there for a couple of years trying to continue with my career. Then I discovered the corporate world and said like, hey, this is fun as well. And tech is fun as well.
True, true.
And you think you only have one path, and then you discover that you can have parallel paths.
Mhm.
That like your career path is not linear. Actually, it's parallel, and you can have different parallel lives. It's like a multiverse in your uh work life, let's say. So I do have a parallel life as an architect, and then I design projects and I send plans and stuff. And then I have fun on my day-to-day working in sales. And then sometimes I do coaching, and sometimes I do, I don't know, other things because I have fun around it.
Sometimes you do podcasts as well.
And sometimes I do podcasts as well.
Yeah. So, so do you ever felt that you were taken for granted in your corporate journey as a woman?
Yes, definitely. Yes, totally. Not where am I right now,
Hmm.
but uh I do remember a place that, oh God, you didn't have any saleswoman. They were all salesmen, literally. And you couldn't even ask to be there. Women were only hired to do administrative tasks. And I thought, is this real? Like, and I appreciated that opportunity because I learned a lot. But yes, if I've seen that, I've seen it. If I experienced it, yes, I've experienced it. Uh, Again, it depends on the culture of the company.
True. It totally depends on, the leadership of the company,
Yes,
what
depends.
culture they are
Yeah.
setting up.
Yes, yes, yes. Sometimes they think they just need men, and then they think they just not need men. They need single men, and
Yeah,
then they
yeah.
think that they just
I've heard a lot of companies saying that we need single man or single woman, and if one get married, they might ask to leave the organization. I heard companies like this also, and
yes,
and it totally doesn't make sense.
it
And
doesn't make sense at all. Why being married or committed to it affects you? Yes, because you have to be in one place, and they want you to be all over the country selling or traveling or stuff.
so Linda, what success means to you in terms of personal and professional life, and can do you think that both can be aligned together? Because being in tech, being in sales is, is quite hectic. When you're in sales, you don't see a clock that you are spending 2 hours in a meeting or 1 hour in a meeting. It can, it can extend exponentially. So how do you manage all
Yes.
these things?
Okay. Answering your first question, how I manage it, I just sit on my chair and try to focus. I won't lie, not every day I'm 100% focused,
Hmm.
but you need to block your calendar. You block sometimes and say, hey, this is my time to focus, and I'm going to do this and this and this task. Okay. And you need to center yourself, even independently of what's around you. um like being a remote worker, it gives you the possibility to work wherever you want. Like there's people that they say they're working in the beach, and it might happen. You might join a meeting in the beach, not for long, because you won't have a place to plug your computer. So, and sometimes the sun won't let you see
Yeah.
your screen. So it's not the smartest thing to do. Okay. But setting up your space where you can focus, that's the key. Like if you're working from your house, then set up your space. If you're working shop, from a coffee shop, then you just put your headphones on, and you can see the difference. Like changing your environment through the music, through putting your headphones, you're going to see a difference. It's not the same working with earpods or headpods on than not.
So do you think that women underestimate themselves, and what do you suggest them, how can they work on it?
Yes, and men too. I think people
But as
in
compared to
general,
women, I believe men don't underestimate themselves the way women does. Reason being, the men do a little bit of work, but they know how to present it in a grand manner that they were so occupied in the particular work. But women are like, I always say that they're silent killers. Like they work in, they don't, how would I say, they don't make a lot of noise, but they work in silence, and they wait for the result. And that's why words like glass ceiling still exist, because they are not stepping up and presenting their work in front of the management.
yes. In general, I think women, we have many capabilities.
Mhm.
And what I would like to tell in general is like, hey, if you can give birth to a child or they're not in your plans, then you can do a lot of things. And this is a very like, if you've experienced that pain, then you know that then you can have a lot of things after, because the pain is so hard, like it's so, well, about around knowledge. It's about setting goals, okay? So women, we underestimate ourselves because stigma in general has requested so many things around us. Like, we need to be smart, we need to be pretty, we need to be perfect, we need to be good mothers, we need to be fit, we need to be so many things at the same time, that if you don't get to one, you underestimate yourself. And it depends also on the economic conditions. Like, many people think that because they were not trained in a good school, that they cannot have success, but that's not true. Like, if you are a person that you want to succeed, and you can do it right now with a little technology, a lot of information is around you. So in general, for women, set goals in your head. Set goals like where you want to be, not in 1 month. Career paths and life paths are long. Like, you need to say, hey, where I'm going to be in 5 years, where I'm going to be in 10 years. And then work in your mind and start like drawing a path for you. And even if you draw a linear path, you know that that won't be linear. That can go up and down many times. And you don't know where you're going to end in 5, like where you're going to be. But if you set an idea, then it's going to be easier. But just work hard every day. Be grateful about things, and things are going to come your way.
True. That's a great message. So just my last question. What's your message to a woman who is just about to start her career now, and to a woman who's just stuck in the middle of her career?
Okay, if they're going to start their career,
Mhm.
then they need to understand that this is the beginning, the initial point, okay? And that they need to learn every day, even if you're starting or in the middle of your career, that they need to be in constant learning in general, different things. Reading an article every day about different things, it's going to improve your knowledge. And think about your future and try to focus on that. Like, not in the goal, but in the path, like how you're going to get there. And enjoy what you're doing. Don't expect success to come from day to night, from night to day. Okay, it's not a success is not a goal. It's a path. You can feel that you're successful, and success changes dependent on each person. From what I think about success is not the same what you think about success. People sometimes measure success around money. Some people measure success about freedom.
Exactly.
And if they're stuck in the middle of their career, change, swipe it. Like, if this is not working, if A is not working, then try B. If B is not working, then try C. Like, don't commit to one thing if you don't see that's not working. You can try different aspects. I had a career pivot, and if I need to pivot again, then I'm going to do it. What I want is to have a comfortable life independently of your career path. Don't get stuck in one profession. Like, remember, you have a multiverse of things to do.
That's nice. Like, I really like the fact that success is a journey, not a destination. And there's a very thin line between not giving up and knowing when to move on. And I think that sets your career, like where you're going to
Yes.
end up in next 5 years or 10 years, like where you want to see yourself. You need to set goals for yourself, and you need to be aligned your personal and professional goals together to achieve good heights.
There's a book, and if you don't want to read the book, even if it's short, that it's a very short book, you can watch a video. It's called Who Moved My Cheese.
Okay.
That's the name of the book. It's a very short book. You can read it like very quick, or if not, you can see the summary in YouTube, or you can see any video around it. And Who Moved My Cheese is around that. It's a story about two let's say, yeah, they're mice, and they're in a career, and someone moved their cheese, and then they need to search the cheese in another place. So it's a very nice story. You read it and then you tell me.
Sure, sure. I would love to read the book. I'll order it after this podcast. So Linda,
Okay.
that's all from my side. Thank you for joining this call, and I hope you like the conversation.
No, thank you very much for inviting me. I wish you the best of success. Draw your path. Think about where you want to go with this podcast, and I just wish the best of success in whatever you're doing. And I really hope this empowers people and changes lives as well.
Thank you for your kind words.
Even just a little,
Yeah,
even just a little.
true, true. I'll try my best. Thank you for your kind words.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye bye.